Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 246. And today will be, of course, the last episode before Thanksgiving. We're going to go ahead and take one more shot at it. Yesterday was a goofy day, if you ask me. Very strange things happening yesterday, getting followed around, weird people, all kinds of strangeness yesterday. And, made 539, lost 539. It's really goofy, but today's another day. We're moving on, and we're going to be making money. Today we're going to go to a better area with a better chance of making money. I didn't kill myself getting out of bed this morning. There's going to be plenty of time today. So the goal today is going to be to make $2,000. I'll add up what I've made this week. I have no idea what it is, but I suspect we're doing okay. But I'll add it up and let you know here in a little while. But we're going to try to make 2K today. Right now it's 34 degrees outside. Nice chilly morning. And unfortunately this weekend is going to be cold. But I think we need to put up the Christmas lights this weekend. I did a little bit more painting in the kitchen yesterday. I don't know if I mentioned a couple days ago I started, and then yesterday I did some more, and we'll have to go to Home Depot. Well, if we want to get it done tomorrow, Home Depot, well, I think Home Depot is open all the time now. There's no holidays anymore. Nobody has any kind of religion anymore, so everything's open all the time. So we will go get some more paint and keep working. It's looking pretty good right now. And other than that, that's really about all that's going on this morning. Things have been really peaceful without work this week. Yeah, I'm getting a phone call. I'll be right back here. Alright, what I was saying was things have been pretty peaceful without work. And I'm like, wow, not a single message, not a single email. What's going on? Well, I had changed my password day before yesterday, and it looked like it took effect, and I was receiving emails and confirmations and stuff, so I thought it was good, but I had to re-enter my password in my PC. Once I did that, then all of a sudden everything started pouring in, and then it never asked me for a password on my phone, so I ended up having to log out and then log back in, and then all of a sudden everything came in, and got a couple hundred emails and some messages. So but that's all cool. I'm not worried about that. I'll do a little bit of work on my office stuff during Thanksgiving and be ready for Monday. So that's all good. So right now I'm going to sit back and relax, and on my way to the first casino, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, getting ready to leave the first casino, and well, nothing really happened. I went into this place, and you could tell someone had already been there, but the magnitude was like ridiculous. There was nothing available anywhere, so I really didn't even have a shot at anything. Went around the whole place, saw some of my beggar alleged APs, just a bunch of beggars taking your money and frittering it away at some buffalo machine that they like because they like the noises that it makes. And there was nothing there. So even on my way out, I thought, well, this is the closest machine to a play. I'm sure I've got some free play. I'll just run it through there. I was thinking, $10 in free play or something. I didn't even have any free plays. So that's all okay. So right now, actually, and on my way out, there was a younger, like a stocky, maybe like 28 to 30-year-old black man sitting at a machine, and there were what looked like 3 cops standing around him. And I don't know if he was trying to sleep there or what his deal was, but they were like putting their hand on his shoulder and trying to talk to him and stuff. So I don't know if he was under the influence or something, or if he was just resting or what the deal was, but he wasn't really talking to him, and he wasn't really trying to get up or anything. So hopefully everything is okay there. That's it. Really pretty boring first stop, especially when you drive hours. and then you walk in and there's nothing there, you got to go, okay, I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to move on, go waste some more gas, and hopefully the next place has some plays for me. So there should be no free play anywhere today, just so you know. There's only a few places that I have free play, and those are slots only casinos, and I don't go there very often, maybe once a week, sometimes twice a week. So anyway, we are moving on. We're going to make some money at the next spot, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys. Well, I'm back. I was talking into my phone for about 5 or 6 minutes, and the phone had paused the recording, and I'd only recorded about a minute of it, so I'm starting over again. I moved on to my next casino and looked around at slot machines first and found nothing to play at all, nothing. And also, I didn't even see anyone checking machines, so I know they've been cracking down at this place, but I didn't see anybody checking anything. I moved on to blackjack. There was only one table available in the low limit. I checked that, bad rules, so I moved on and finally found a table to play at. Bought in for $500, and then $1,000, and then $1,500, and then $2,000, and then $2,500, and then $3,000, then $3,500, and $4,000, and $4,500, and finally I was involved for $5,000 at my deepest, and I was down as much as $4,500. The first table I played at immediately started losing like crazy. Was never ahead. I played at that table for almost 2 full shoes before I switched, because a new table opened up, and I was down 4,000 by the time I left that table. So I moved on to another one, bought in for 500 there, and lost that right away, and then another 500, and that's when things started turning around a little bit. When I first got to that table, like I said, it was a little rough, but then things turned around, and I played a full shoe. It was all negative counts. Next shoe comes around, all negative counts, and but it helped me claw back a little bit. And by the end of that shoe, I was only down a couple thousand, which was like a miracle because I'm min betting the whole time. But I'm winning the majority of the hands. Next shoe comes, I'm min betting the whole time again. There's nowhere to go, and I'm making it a bet and a quarter, a bet and a half, but it's all negative counts, so I can't really do much. But the dealers are like looking at you like you're crazy. You're winning hands and you're not raising. What's going on? Finally, my dealer is sick or something, and she has to go to the bathroom. So a pit boss sits in for her. He deals me 2 hands. I win both of those hands, and it's like the only dealer ever that I never lose a hand to. And then they have another dealer come over until she gets back, and I'm just treading water at that point. She gets back, and things start improving again, and I end up leaving halfway through a shoe with a minus 11 count, and at that point I am exactly even. And I'm like, I can't believe that the counts have been so bad the whole time. And I was checking myself to make sure I was doing it right. That for that almost that whole hour, it was negative counts. And then the pit boss, it was kind of weird. So they were changing a lot of things around, getting tables open and things like that. And the pit boss was like, it seemed like they were distracted by something. I don't know what they were distracted by, but I was a little bit nervous, especially when I bought for 5,000, because that's when they have to make the call. I actually considered making it 4,900 instead of 5,000, but I said, what the heck, the way it's going, I'm going to end up at 8 or 9 anyway, so I might as well just do what I need to do. But a lot of people came and left, and a couple security people came and left. They weren't bringing anything, they weren't doing anything, so I felt like really uneasy about it. But with all negative counts, even if they thought I was doing something, I'm not raising, so what could happen? So finally, when I'm leaving, the pit boss comes to me and he's like, hey, I just want to let you know, when you got a bunch of winning hands in a row like that, you got to raise your bet. Otherwise, you'll never break even. And I thought to myself, oh, really? I think I just broke even. I mean, not the natural way that you would want, but I did end up even. I looked at slot machines again, only found one play on slot machines, and I played that through, and I'm like, surely I'm not going to be, lose on this. And I ended up losing $20 on that. So for the day, I have a 0 session, a 0 session, and a minus $20 session. And moving on to the next casino, going to be meeting a friend and hopefully get a couple slot plays, maybe a little bit of blackjack in, and hopefully turn things around for the day. But it's been a really weird day and nervous. And what made me even more nervous is once I got to 5,000, I know they have their security things that they do, and I wasn't too worried about those. But then the pit boss asked me my name as I was leaving. And luckily, I'm ready with that all the time. Especially, I was already on high alert because of the goings on around me. Security walking in around and out, managers walking in and out, and I'm like, this looks exactly like it looked the other day when I was backed off. But I was probably fortunate that I broke even with negative counts, because if they suspected something, there's nothing for them to check. So I went from like 1 unit to maximum 2 units that whole time for an hour. So anyway, that's what's going on right now. You're all caught up, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back. Yep. So I moved on to the next casino. Walk in, everything's fresh, everything's good. I'm even, right? Looking around at machines, I play one machine, I lose like $49 on it. Kept on going, found another machine, and that $49 was at a very low denomination. Went on, found another machine at $6 a spin, played that through, lost over 400 on that one. I'm like, my gosh, when is this going to stop? And I ended my slot session down $397. So, and then I did play blackjack and actually had some decent variance for once lately. And I hit in a reasonable amount of time, not too long. Initially, I was just losing, but then things turned around, and I had a good little run. And I played it until the end of the shoe and ended that shoe ahead 600. So we're actually ahead for the day, but not by much. I lost 4 and I was down by 20. I'm probably up like $200 for the day. So I'll take it, whatever. And while I was at this place, I met with a friend of mine, talked to him for a little while, and we're making plans to hopefully take a few days together and go tour some casinos that we've been wanting to hit. And he's got a couple weird situations he's dealing with casinos who kicked him out, but then invited him back to pick up some big prizes. So he's going to go do that. And I think maybe when he does that, maybe we'll set it up where I can drive him. So because I'm going to be changing the car over to my wife's name anyway, so it won't be my name or her name, and hopefully we can get that stuff for him. Other than that, I did get some food. I got a nice deep dish pepperoni, just a small size one, and that was excellent with the, crust all the way around is all nice and crunchy and stuff. So that was good. I just finished that. Right now, I'm moving on. I'm going to a grocery store first to pick up some things that I need, and then we'll move on to the next casino. Getting very late in the day right now. Unfortunately, not really making any money this week, but you know what? I will check back with you. I will add up where I am for the week and let you know as well. So I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm back. I did just do the math just to figure out where I am for the week. Of course, my goal is always between 4,000 and 5,000 for the week. And as of right now, this last casino that I visited, I am ahead approximately 1900 for the week. So it's all right. You know, we're ahead. It could be a bad week. I could have lost all those big sessions instead of broken even and made a little bit. So plus 1900 for the week, and just arriving at this grocery store. I'll be back. All right, guys, as we continue on to the next casino, this morning I hit a milestone. So when I bought this car, had it for about a month or so. When I got it registered, I registered it with 172,008 miles on it. Today, I hit 272,000. I'm actually at 272,200 already, and I still have hundreds of miles to go on the trip today. So we actually put 100,200 miles on this car in a year and 3 weeks or so. So quite a few miles, and who knows this time next year if I'll even have this car or not. But if I don't have it, I think what I'm going to do is go with some kind of a used hybrid and just beat the crap out of that one until that one's dead. And then maybe after that we'll go for a new car. We'll see. So, all right, guys, I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. I went to the next place and they had something going on, some kind of giveaway, lucky magic number, drawing something. I don't know what it was, but it was sure drawing a big crowd. And it was very busy in there, very hard to check machines. And I walk in and I see the two machines I want to check right away. I go to check them. There's a guy on the first one. I go around the corner to see the other one, and there's a friend of mine on the other one, and he's playing a small play on that one, waiting for the other guy to get up from the big play. So that was going to be gone, and I'm like, there's no way that guy's going to get up. And I took a walk. When I came back around later on, he had gotten up, and my friend was on there, and I said, why would he get up? And he said, well, he said he had something to do, and my friend was raking it in. When I had walked by, he had $220 in there. When I came back around, he had $689 in the machine, and he wasn't done yet either. So anyway, so good for him. You know, he said he lost 3,000 yesterday, so I believe it. I mean, you see the ups and downs that I have, and I'm trying to be careful. So I walk around, look at some other stuff, and then I see another machine that's ready to go. There's an old man sitting at it, and I look, and he's a guy that I know too. I'm like, dang, man. And this is a guy that normally doesn't take risks, and I take this play, but he normally doesn't. And he told me that he's down 500 today, and he's still running after this one. He still had about 500 spins to go before he hit it at a couple dollars a spin. So, and then he reminded me that even though he was down today, he's up 40,000 for the year. And I'm like, that's pretty impressive, my friend. Good job. Up 40,000. So that one was no good either. I played two small plays, and after those two plays, I was down like 51 or 55 dollars. And then I go around the corner. I'm getting ready to leave. I see one more play, and there's a lady had scooted the seat over so she could sit with her husband, and she wasn't about to give it to me, and I didn't care. I moved another seat over, and I sat down, and I had a couple hundred spins on that one before that one was going to hit. So I sat down, camped out. It was at a minimum bet, so it was under $1 a spin. And I ended up actually making like $3 on that one, and that's it. And then I checked another machine. So someone had just gotten up, and there was a small play at a min bet. I played that one. I lost $1. And then there was another play at a different level. I played that, and I made about whatever it was, $30, $40, whatever it was. And with that, it carried me up to being ahead $21. So 21 for the blackjack player. So plus $21. And it's been a hectic week. It really has. It's only Wednesday, but it was not a great week. It was a lot of travel for very little money, but we're staying positive. We're staying up. we're continuing our break even or make a little trend that's going on right now, and hopefully we get that out of our system in the next couple weeks and end the year in a good way. I think with being ahead like 4,400, I think I was before the week started. Now I'm probably going to be only ahead like 1,000 or 1,200 for the pace that I wanted to be at to get my goals for the year. But at least we're there. It's not terrible. I'm happy about that. I wanted to tell you about something that happened earlier, and I forget what it is now. Man, see, sometimes these little thoughts pop into my brain, and it's not enough to do a segment, and then I forget about it. So, unfortunately, it's gone. So, all right, let's talk a little bit. Let's talk about kids today. Not kids, you guys. Some of you guys that listen. Do you know? Speaking of all that, do you know what the average age is that listens to this podcast? Think about it for a second. What do you think the average age is? It's like in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Uh-oh. There's a stalled vehicle ahead. Let me shut this thing up. Okay, so the average age for this podcast is equally distributed between age 25 and age 65. Every group in between there has almost the same amount of viewership in the 20-something% range. So it's equally distributed. So I think that's pretty cool. So I'm not trying to alienate any of you guys. I'm just telling you my point of view about things. And here, these are some of the words that I'm learning from my kids. And the first one I want to talk about today is Riz. And it's like, I tried to get them to explain what Riz was, and they couldn't really explain it. They just gave me a bunch of sentences. And so I looked it up, and it's just similar to the word swag, comes from the word charisma. So which means being cool, having charisma or keen sense of fashion. So there you go. Bobby got the Riz is what it says here. So that's one there. And then how about Delulu? They like to change the words just a little bit because it's just, delusional is too long. We're too busy. So we're going to say Delulu. Let me see. I don't know. That's enough of that for me. I'm not really liking this segment anyway. But now let's talk about some of the stuff that we used to say that kids will probably never get to do or say. They'll never drop film off for processing. Actually, I have some film I need to drop off that I found that's very old black and white film from the family. And how about, do you want to keep the carbon or should I tear it up? So when they were doing receipts, and in order to have a copy of it, they had a piece of carbon paper in between, and people would want that because they don't want someone having it and getting their information. That was for like your credit card or whatever. How about what is your modem's baud rate? If you remember that, I remember that because my first version of Windows was Windows 3.1, and I thought no one's ever going to want to use Windows. Why would you want a GUI? And then how about ejecting the cassette or checking my pager? How about pulling over and wanting to buy a map or looking at the map? We used to get those triptychs from AAA. I don't know if you remember those, but it would actually, you'd go there, you'd say, I want to go from LA to Phoenix, and they'd take a bunch of these and put them together, and you'd flip the page to the next road, and the next page to the next road, and you could see where all the exits were, and then if you wanted to zoom in on an area, you'd open it up, and you could see the things in that area. So that was all cool. Yeah, I think we can say that's enough for now. How about, let's talk about what did you eat today, MW? And actually, the only thing that I had to eat today was that piece of pizza that I talked to you about. It was that deep dish pepperoni, and it was pretty good. I would give it probably a 9 on a scale of 2 through ACE. It was all right. And what did you tip today, MW? And the answer is, I didn't tip anything. Don't you learn? No. What happened was when I was on that first table and I was down, I was involved for 5,000, and I got back to even. It was a minus 11 if I remember right, running count. There was no way I was going to play another hand. And to tip when I'm even, I'm not doing that either. So, and then the other table, I came to the table complaining that I was down a couple thousand, and if I could only get 500, I'd be so happy. Why would I tip? So when I won 600 at that table, I'm like, I think I'm going to take a break and I'll come back later. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Don't try to win it all at once. Thanks, lady. I appreciate that. So, yeah. So right now the sun is setting, and I don't know if that's a star up there. I'm already seeing stars already. It's kind of cloudy though, and it's 45 degrees, but it's a nice day. It's okay. It's not snowing. It's not raining. The roads aren't too busy, and right now what I'm going to do is actually stop in about 10 minutes to get some gas. That area is usually the cheapest, and then we'll continue the trip home and see what happens from there. I don't know what's going to happen this weekend. I may do a one-off episode talking about something totally unrelated to what I'm doing right now, just talking about some different odds and things like that of a game. I'm not positive yet. It's just going to depend on how much alone time I have. If I do have some time, I will probably record something about a side bet or another game. One thing I've wanted to look into is playing free bet. There's one area that I go to that there's almost no blackjack tables anymore, but I think free bet is possibly countable, beatable. So I'm thinking about looking into that a little bit. So I might do that. Other than that, I think I'm just going to head on home, enjoy the rest of the trip, and be glad that the week is over. Unfortunately, next week is not going to be great. I'm going to be super bogged down with work. So there'll be a Monday, Tuesday episode, and then Wednesday I may not have an episode at all. I know I haven't missed a Wednesday episode in a couple of years, but it might just be one episode for Monday and Tuesday, one for Thursday, one for Friday. Unfortunately, I will try to get out this Sunday as well and try to make some cash. So that's where we are right now. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time. Happy Thanksgiving.